I have done it. I just finished one of, if not the biggest project in this world. I used over 60,000 items, spent countless hours planning, designing, and building, and just to hide this one thing, you gotta stay until the end to find out. We will build all the interiors as the exterior is done since a longer time already. So let's start with all of the crew cabins and gather the materials. You probably get how this went. Now we get to do some crafting. Now I had to go to the net. Huh? Finally, jeez. So I am in the nether right now to gather warped wood. It does seem random, but it will make sense once I get the item that comes after. I do have a tree farm, but it is a pain to farm nether trees and I don't need too much anyway. By the way, if you want to have more context on my world, watch my first video. There we do a little world tour and explanations. Then just get back here. In a second we will get the next block and I don't even need to farm it. I already have a ton of it left over from the airship balloon. This amount you see is of course way too much for carpets and beds. The block I am talking about is wool. I don't need white wool though, I have to dye it cyan. So to do that, I obviously need to get cyan dye. Luckily, there is an easy method to get to this color introduced in 1.20 called sniffers. And I got some of them up here. In my bone meal and sniffer farm, I get access to the right flour easily. I just have to farm the pitcher pots, which the sniffers provided me, with the bone meal I get from the farms hidden in the building. This way I can get 2 cyan dye for every plant I farm. Now we craft the dye and dye the wool, and the only thing left before finally building is crafting carpet. Now you also see why I chose warped wood. It matches the cyan color very well. And finally, let's build the first of many rooms today. In these rooms, the crew of the airship can relax and sleep. There are 4 members who share one room. Let's build some more. I will just skip building the rest of the same rooms. There's only one left. Now the rooms are done, except all the 60 beds, which I have to craft first and then place all of them. Now every room is finished and has a usable seat via the minecart to look out the window as well. Let's get the next materials by using editing magic and build another important room, the kitchen. I am using a mod called Lightmatica to show me where I should place the blocks. It doesn't provide me the materials. This kitchen, as well as the rest of the project, is built in a steampunk style. I think it turned out great. Let's add the final details and build the adjacent freezer room to keep the raw food fresh. Also, with leftover materials, I finished a big crew cabin area of the ship with a small meeting and dining room with steampunk accents on the back wall. There will be another, way bigger meeting room later in the video though. Next up, we do a jump to the, as of right now, empty cockpit of this airship. Let me present to you my 3 stages of building an interior. A snow layout comes first, followed by getting materials, and at last replacing the snow with real blocks, meaning building this thing. There's one major detail I left out, which I will finish the cockpit with. Let's just build this and show you. Maybe you can guess it from the materials. It's a small model of the airship we are in. Let me know how it looks down in the comments. And with that, the cockpit too is done already. Complete with steering instruments, another meeting table and more details. But there's more news. Replay mod finally released. Do you know what that means? Oh yeah. But now we gotta continue work at the back of the ship. Here I used the same method, creating a snow layout to then transform it into this nice lounge right at the entrance of the ship. This boring tunnel to the biggest room got a glow up as well, with steampunk piping running along the ceiling, which leads us to the final room, and the biggest as well, this one. Here, after putting the ceiling in place quickly, this room will become a big meeting room for politics and important conversations. So, for the last time, I need to get the materials. And here we go, one last build. Meanwhile, I got caught in a phantom chase. I just got some materials in my starter village, and the phantom randomly decided to chase me all the way to the main project. It's dead now. Anyway, and there is the meeting room as well, completely done. Do you know what this means? The entire airship is now done. From the cockpit, over the crew cabins, their kitchen rooms, through the long corridors, into the meeting room, under the pipes, ending in the lounge. A 200 block monster to hide my new auto storage system. It was a lot of work, but so worth it, and I can't believe that I am finally done. And of course, I have to thank you for making it to the very end, and just want to ask you for ideas, so you can be part of this world and this journey. I will see you then. Goodbye.